Today is we have some NASCAR '07 action right here on the channel. Gotta turn the volume down. There you go. You guys can probably hear me a little better now. Yeah, there we go. All right, welcome everybody to this week's edition of NASCAR '07 on the channel. Friday Night NASCAR. Here we go. Had to fix the audio there for a second. We're good to go now. But yeah, appreciate everybody tuning in. This is going to be an interesting one. Las Vegas, Flat Vegas, Old Vegas. Let's get ready to rock and roll. Starting third, championship is hanging in the balance here. We're 79 points out of first, I believe. Yeah, 79 points out of first. It is scrolling at the top of the screen throughout the course of this live stream as well. Yeah, this is gonna be tough to try to come back from. If you were watching the last race, we may have costed Tony Stewart a win. Saved us a few points there, but we did not have a good showing at Daytona in the second race there this season. And we still got one more super speedway race at Dega coming up in a few, so got to cut into that points lead when we can now. Survive Talladega and hope for the best the rest of the season from there on out. Let's get this thing underway. I'm not even sure who's on the pole. Probably Tony Stewart.
Okay, this is it.
Oh, maybe I'm on the pole. All right. Green flag. I was not expecting that. I qualified third. I don't know why I'm on the pole. I will take it. Problem is Stewart's right there with us.
Nice job, man.
Hope I'm not rusty. I hope so too. Yeah, I qualified third. Stewart would have been on the pole. For some reason, he's not. And like I said, I will take it. Don't mind if I do. I'll lead the first lap. Tony Stewart's going to be in third, getting up to speed through the tri-oval. This thing felt fast in qualifying. I did not practice, but qualifying felt quick. I just got to hope I have handling on the long run. That's going to be the big thing here. It's going to be the key determining factor of whether we're going to win this thing or not. And we need to keep Tony Stewart out of leading any laps if at all possible.
The 33 car has got a run on you.
Honestly, if he puts the pressure to me early, I'm not going to say I'm going to let him go, but we just have to beat him. We still kind of control our own destiny to a certain extent. We just got to beat him. Yeah, sorry if you couldn't hear me the first, 30 seconds or less of the stream, though. I don't think you missed any dialogue, though, so there's that. Got a little loose getting off of turn 4. Stewart's challenging, but at an awkward angle getting into turn 1. I mean, the good news with this being a flatter track, it's probably going to be harder for him to get me aero loose like this. He might be a rival, too. I don't think he is. He's got to be upset with me after the last race. I just completely blew that corner. He almost slipped underneath me. I mean, he's going to be breathing down my neck for quite some time, I'd have to imagine.
Number 33 is looking high.
Wow, shape there into the dog leg. I clipped the grass. I cut it too much.
Clear, all clear, whatever you need.
Not gonna lie, this thing's a little on the loose side. One of those Pennzoil cars looking to move into second. Not sure which one that is. It's either Mark Martin or Matt Kenseth. Looks like it's a 6. Mark Martin. I see Kyle Busch creeping in too.
Going outside.
No, it is Kenseth. Never mind. 1-7. I believe Kenseth won the last race too. Got his second win of the season. Yeah, I do not like how loose this thing is getting in a hurry. Burning the rear tires off of it. Very, very early in the run at that.
Number 33 is looking for some room to get by you. The 33 car outside. Okay, we're clear.
Triple digits on Sunday. don't know where you're at. Stay cool. That is hot. I see my Detroit Tigers are getting absolutely crushed in the second inning right now. I was kind of keeping an eye on it as I was setting the stream up. First inning, I was like, oh, wow. Reese Olson struck out the side. That's pretty cool. Second inning, they give up 5 runs. Like, okay, never mind. So much for a hot start. Yeah, leadoff single, too. Things were looking so promising in the first inning. Went south real quick. Been so streaky this season. Win a few, lose a few. I mean, they've been about 500 for a month and a half. And he is clear, and I'm in the wall. Very fortunate I bounced off the wall as cleanly as I did. I got to go for it. I lost my momentum. This thing is so loose. But I really don't want Tony Stewart to lead a lap. Take the shortcut here. All right, there we go. I led it. Not by much, but I did lead. Just really don't want Tony Stewart to lead any laps. I mean, it's going to be hard to stay in front of him for 200 laps, but I'm going to try. There's a will, there's a way. There's a lot of innings left. But the Tigers don't score a lot of runs, though, either, so that's the hard part. They got a great pitching staff this season, Reese Olson included. He just got rocked in the second inning. That's all it takes, and you don't have a team that can hit worth a crap. Like, yeah, they'll put up high numbers every now and then, but every team does. Consistently, though, they're like 3-4 runs or less. They're already that's not going to be enough to cut it. So. We'll see, though. Like you said, a lot of game left, but they're not really. Outside that leadoff single by Veerling, they're not really getting after this guy pitching for Milwaukee tonight either. Mine included, but practice was an hour. Yeah, I saw you comment that in the live commentary stream. Pat Sajak's final wheel of fortune tonight. I had no clue. Could have assumed he was on the brink of retirement. I mean, he's been doing it for a really long time. Looks like 3 up, 3 down again. It's on an intermediate track. I can kind of keep track of that and the chat at the same time without really losing any sort of speed. Who's supposed to be the new host then? Challenge Braun Breaker and Braun Strowman. 2-on-1 handicap match. I got the height advantage on Braun Breaker, but that's about it. He's got the size and strength advantage. And the speed and agility. I got the length, though. I got the reach. Braun Strowman, on the other hand, is also taller and bigger, stronger, faster. Well, I don't know. I mean, he's really fast for his size. I might be faster than him. Me versus Braun Strowman, 40-yard dash. Because he's like a power lifter, so I can't imagine. I feel like I'd be quicker than him. Like, his joints aren't as good as mine. I challenge Braun Strowman to a 40-yard dash. Book it, Hunter.
Number 33 is gaining on you.
Stewart about to lose second to Kenseth. Kenseth's just kind of been creeping around. Everybody, Kyle Busch in fourth place on back, though, has lost ground. Stewart has not led. Johnson has led these first 17 laps of the race now at the line. Like to get the max points day, so I really don't want Kenseth to lead either, but if somebody other than me were going to lead this race, I just got to hope it's not Tony Stewart. See, the only thing here is the cycling of pit stops. That's what's going to be difficult to try to stay in front of him for. I'll try to stay out as long as I possibly can. But I'm going to need a little help there.
The 17 car has a good run. He's coming low.
Stewart slips back to the inside of Kenseth for second. They're side by side again. "20 laps in. So, I mean, lose as fast if you can hang on to it. So far, I'm hanging on to it. What is it going to be like at, like, lap 60 in this run? That's what I'm curious about. We're a third of the way there, though. The clean air is helping. If I didn't have clean air, I think we'd be in a world of hurt by way of handling. Like I said, though, I qualified third. I don't know how I got the pole. I'll take that glitch, though. Take any glitch necessary to allow me to get this thing done. Not that lap, but the lap before that, I ran my fastest of the race. Lap 20, so back into second. Kenseth slipping a little bit. I might even I mean, tires have to be wearing out quite a bit, you would imagine. And I can't imagine. There we go, just ran the fastest lap of the race again. There's some speed on that apron taking that shortcut. The problem is it is probably wearing my tires out quicker. I'd be willing to do a two-tire strategy, because obviously if Stewart pits before me, he's more than likely going to cycle out of the pits ahead of me. So even though I can try to stay out longer than him on that side of things, I'm willing to try two tires. I want to lead them all. Especially if he's in second. Now, if he dropped out of the race because of an engine failure between now and first set of green flag pit stops, then we'd have a different story here. Completely overshot turn one. Flatlined the tri-oval again. Lost a lot of ground. Yeah, I'm not challenging Conor McGregor. I won't even challenge him to a 40-yard dash. He'd probably beat me. Oh my goodness, hang on to it, hang on to it. I'll give him the outside. I don't want him to take the bottom, though. Put that grass in the tri-oval, and second time I've done that, it just been a little... Well, it wasn't as warm as what it's been the last couple days, so that was nice. That was an aggressive line through 3 and 4. A little loose off the exit corner. Might get... Should have taken the shortcut there just because of how loose I was getting off of 4. They ate me up on that front stretch. And these flat corners at this old Vegas layout, too, you can really drive it in deep. Get it to stick for the most part. Clip the grass again. Gosh darn it. I didn't get as loose as I did the first 2 times I did that, but still scrubbing extra speed off. Go down there to get more speed, not take it away. Oh, yeah, see, I was... Yeah, he's going to be coming with a big-time run here. I was way too focused on the Tigers game that time. Just looking to see how many pitches Reese Olson had. About wrecked it. Yeah, I'm not as fast as I was early in the run. I will say that much. A lot of asphalt, and I'm still finding a way to get off of it somehow. There we go. That was a really good recovery lap there. Alternate through different camera angles for the first time in this race. Stuart Keds will keep crisscrossing each other every few laps per second. It's been a good battle back there. And honestly, them doing that gives me at least a few car lengths separation nearly every time. And I drove that thing in deep. Cooking these tires. It's starting to get really floaty even in the center of the tri-oval. The harder I am getting into the corner, it kind of sets the car. And I'm not using as much of the right rear, and I'm using more of the right front. That's what I'm trying to do. The problem is that's when I've had the few times I've gone way up the track. I almost lost the lead to Tony Stewart that one time because of it. I'm really trying not to do that again. Golly. What is this? Yeah, I know it's loose. Loose as fast if you can hold on to it. I've held on to it so far. He's there. I got really loose. Nope. I ain't racing clean with him right now. Alright, I led that lap. We're door banging. We're banging fenders. Get after it, get after it. I made contact with him. I hit the wall. He didn't hit the wall, but he went up the hill going into one. Getting down and dirty tonight. I don't want him to lead any laps. I'm committed. He has not led yet. Honestly, hitting the wall might have helped the handling of the car a little bit. It was getting really loose there. Little right front damage, trying to tighten it up a bit. Tigers World Series champions? Yeah, I don't know about this year. I didn't see how the Tigers got out. How'd they get that last out last inning? Just focused in on Tony Stewart. And other things on my agenda at the moment. I mean, granted, I'm barely past halfway through the fuel run, but I'm honestly shocked that I didn't use up more of the right rear than what I thought. Honestly, when I hit the wall, the handling of this thing's been a little bit better. I wasn't kidding about hitting the wall, and it actually kind of straightened the car up a little bit. Because it was getting way too loose. Now, the only thing is it going to be too tight on the short run? Because obviously it frees up as the run carries on. You know, if we put 4 fresh tires on this thing at the end of a fuel run, is it going to want to go straight up the hill every time? And then we get the speed back in the second half. That we will still have to wait and see. Yeah, final race hubs next week too. Tuesday night. Crazy. Been around for a long time. Getting back to the Speed Channel years. I'm not sure. I know it's been around for more than 10 years. Alright, somehow, someway I've led these first 40 laps. Tony Stewart's gotten alongside me twice, but he hasn't passed me yet. Not to lead a lap, at least. Oh, boy. Oh, I held on to it. Here he comes. He's coming back for more. Actually kind of opened the door for Matt Kenseth. Man, Kenseth had a huge amount of speed. He passed Stewart and got to my outside all in the same... Here's Tony. No! Dang it! I was leaning on him. I was really hoping he wasn't going to lead. I tried. I tried everything I could, guys. Yeah, wind tunnel was great, for sure. I always liked watching, oh boy. Yeah, he ain't happy. He actually hurt himself hitting me that time off turn 4. Well, he led one lap. Got the lead right back. And he's upset with me, and he has every right to be. From last week to this week, well, last race, 2 weeks ago to this week. That's a bold statement there. I mean, hey, you either like it or you don't, though. I mean, it's your opinion. I mean, you were pretty young, though, when wind tunnel was a thing. I was young, too, obviously. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I'm in the wall. I could... Oh, my goodness, Tony. He took out Kenseth. He knocked me into him. That's what happened there. He knocked me into the 17. Oh, that's a hard hit into the inside wall. Poor Matt Kenseth. And see, the problem is Kenseth's going to be upset with me after that. When it wasn't my fault. Well, I'd imagine everybody's going to pit here. 4 tires and gas. Kenseth's still going to stay in the lead. NASCAR in a hurry? That's the name of a show? Can't say I have. Yeah, Tony Stewart started that wreck. I mean, well, I kind of started it because I got up into the wall. I mean, it wasn't really all Tony Stewart's fault. I mean, he didn't have much time to lift. I got up into the box.
Couple guys in pit. Now they're up front.
Lost 3 spots on pit road. It wasn't much of the pit crew there. I had to wait for the 41 to get in his box before I could leave. That's on my crew chief. And Tony Stewart obviously won the race off pit road. Of all drivers, would have won the race out of the pits. It was Tony Stewart. Go figure. Yeah, he covered everything motorsport, for sure. It's like the modern day, you know, like a Colin Coward, but of motorsports. Much more appreciative, I think. I think way more people appreciated Dave Despain in the motorsports world than what they appreciate Colin Coward in the sports media world, but like style as far as like kind of that radio talk show feel, one man. I mean, he would bring on like interviewers from time to time, but it's kind of the same thing with that. Not that I watch Colin Coward much, I don't really care for him, but I know of him enough. I've seen stuff that the style of it, of the show itself, was reminiscent to what Wind Tunnel was, but Wind Tunnel obviously was motorsports exclusive. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little scared to pass Tony. A little scared to pass him. Gonna go for it though. Yeah. I got loose. Oh, he's gonna hit me. Go, just go, just go. Just go. Don't hit me. I'll pass you another corner. Really backed the middle of that corner up very well. Oh, I overshot it. Whoa, there he goes. A little intimidation. This car's still loose, even really early in the run. It wasn't this loose at the start of the race, but I think Tony Stewart getting into my back bumper, then Kenseth spinning as a result of it. Speaking of which, Kenseth has been nowhere to be found since the caution. Yeah, I haven't heard of NASCAR Angels either, to be completely honest. Yeah, these are all like Speed Channel shows. I mean, I can remember some of it. I was just so young when like Prime Speed Channel was on. That's where I watched a lot of the NASCAR races I watched growing up, especially through the summer months of the season when I wasn't in school. I just realized it's 7-0 now. I don't know what happened, but see, Reese Olson's still in the game. I kind of had a feeling you give up 5 runs in the second. Like the first inning, you give up a few runs, and then you kind of calm down, you settle in after that. But doing that in the second inning, that scared me a little bit the way this game has gone since then. Oh my goodness.
Concentrate on those marks. Come on, buddy.
I'm trying, man.
The gap behind you. Now outside.
Oh,
Still there.
I gotta send it.
You're running great. Doing what you're doing.
Yeah, this car, the handling just, it isn't the same. I think I've hit the wall too many times. I think I've bounced off the wall like 4 times already. Car's just a bit too loose from the start. Kyle Busch in the second.
That's not possible right now.
I tried to get him. He doesn't want to work with me. Doesn't want to work with me, apparently. Will he block for me?
Number 5.
Nope.
Making his move on the right.
I'd appreciate you more if you blocked for me in this situation, Kyle. Your chances of winning the championship are nowhere near as high as mine. So much for blocking for me now. Tony Stewart's back into second again. My line is just, it's all over the place. It's so loose, even on the straightaways, that just trying to move the analog stick the slightest to get it into the corner, it moves too much. I get behind a car and it's way worse, so I really want to keep this clean air as long as I can. I don't know if it's gonna happen. So everybody pitting when they did. It was gonna be a 3-stop race anyway, so we're still within the window to make it on 2 more stops. And if we get a caution after lap 80, then we should be in the window to make it from then to the... Wow, I just ran a lap time in the 31s that last lap. I didn't even go to the apron that time either. Ran my fastest lap of the day. Oh boy. Hang on to it, there she goes. Last time I slid like that, I hit the wall. I don't know how I didn't hit the wall that time. Mr. Hendrick gave me a fast car. But she doesn't handle very good. Next season is going to be your 19th year. Yeah, I know I've been asked quite often before, really, of like when I started watching NASCAR stuff, how long I've been watching it. Like, I honestly don't know. I've just been watching it from what I can remember. I'll be 25 years old in a couple months, and I mean, I couldn't tell you, if I've been watching it for, 23 years. Like, I really don't know. I've just always remembered watching NASCAR. Some of the earliest memories I have of, like, remembering where I was for specific races was probably about, like, 03, 04. But I've also rewatched so much stuff from, like, those years and slightly earlier that I have a good memory of how races played out and stuff, so I can't really pinpoint exactly, when I was actually watching it. I was probably watching it from such a young age. It's in my blood. I can't believe Reese Olson's still in the game. I get they probably just want to get out of the inning, but they've also given up 8 runs. Just leaving him in there to die. His ERA was so low going into the game, and it probably blipped up quite a bit now. I realize when your birthday was, too. I knew you were within a couple years of me, but I didn't think we were that close. 12 hits, ouch. Yeah, it ain't pretty. About as pretty or lack thereof of how loose this car is. Kyle Busch is in second again. Tony Stewart, well, I was going to say he led 1 lap, but he ended up winning the race off pit road. The caution we had. One that he kind of caused. Had a part in it. It really was more of a racing deal. Like, I blamed him, but honestly, looking back on it, it wasn't like it. I was the one that kind of initiated it. Obviously, it was an accident. I got up in the wall, he got into the back of me, and Kenza was the innocent bystander in it, really. And he was the one that got turned. What? Way too far wide. I wasn't sure if I was cleared when I moved back down to the bottom. Luckily, I was. It's like 2 or 3 laps in a row now. I've just went wide into turn 1. There we go. Now Busch is going to block for me. And hopefully this takes the pressure off of me. Tell you what, that camera angle, by the way, the camera on top of the hood, in this game, for some reason, feels really weird. It's like my car's not pointed in the right direction every time I see it. Gotta make sure not to use the apron this time. I see a lap car down there. That's the last thing I want to do is cram into him. I couldn't tell who that was. Somebody else is on pit road as we speak as well. So we've got a couple drivers who've blown an engine in recent laps. Wonder if any of them are Matt Kenseth. I don't think that car was. The only reason I said that is because he was the first caution of the race. And he did hit the inside wall in the backstretch pretty hard. The left front. So, I don't know. He could result in an engine failure before the end of it. We'll wait and see. I don't know how. That was one of my faster laps of the race. It's like in the middle of the run for some reason. Car still doesn't feel good, but it's quick. Which had slightly more balance, but it sounds like the 18 car was one driver who blew an engine, which is J.J. Yaley. So Yaley blew an engine earlier. He's come back onto the track now. I think he's still top 5 in points. Wow, Busch had a big run. Give him the top. I'm trying. Crew Chief's telling me to drive the wheels off of it. I'm definitely driving the rear wheels off of it, I'll tell you that much. The right rear specifically. Oh, jeez. JC, thanks for tuning in. Whoa. This thing's just so loose. Oh, Busch wasn't breathing down my neck. This would probably be a lot less stressful. I think I'm just holding them up. Team orders are in place, though. I haven't blocked Stewart. He's stayed in front of him this whole time, so he's doing a good job of that. I think Stewart's got a better car. Me and Stewart have both led, so I'll make sure I get those bonus points. I've led a lot more than him. He's only led a few laps, 4 or 5 maybe, and that's about it. But really wish he didn't lead any. 79 points out of first. Really wish that's the case. Did I find what race I'm attending this year? I did. But that is to be announced at a future date. Got a few of them. I mean, you can pretty much guarantee I'm going to Michigan. That'd be my home track. So that's no secret. But the other ones, all in the second half of the season. A few cars at the very tail end of the field be closing in. Actually, the next car is J.J. Yaley, I think. He's noticeably more slow than everybody else. So we are closing in on J.J. Yaley for the first time. Hopefully this gives me a little breathing room from these two behind me. Or it could end up costing me the lead. It's going to be one of those two things, I'm sure. Draft on him, pull out a line, stay wide, JJ. Well, looks like everybody's gonna, all three of us are gonna blow by him. He did the smart thing, he let us all through. Try the Southern 500 since it's the finale for the year. Yeah, I keep forgetting that it's the regular season finale. I'm so used to it starting the playoffs the last several years that I keep forgetting Atlanta's in the playoffs now all of a sudden. It's weird that it's only going to be like that. Well, at least Atlanta in the playoffs for this season, and then next year it's like right back in the summer again. Unless the first Atlanta date is the Amazon Prime date, which I guess could be. We just know Atlanta's going to be on Prime. Or, sorry. No, sorry, that's the first race on TNT. My bad. First race on TNT is Atlanta. The Prime first race would be the 600. Well, they finally took Reese Olson out of the game. Waited until it was 8-0 after 4 innings, and poor guy. He has had no luck. I mean, even if he had a good outing, the team has no runs with him pitching again. For any Tigers fans out there, or baseball fans, I mean, Reese Olson has had probably the worst luck of any pitcher, at least that I know. I mean, he came into the night with a 2.14 ERA, and his record was 1-6. Because his team doesn't score runs for him. Like, anytime I watch him when he pitches this year, the Tigers lose 2-1, 3-1, 3-2. I think he might have even lost a 1-0 game at one point in there, because I know that's lost a few of those this season. They've also won a couple 1-0 games already, so the team just can't hit, especially when he's pitching for whatever reason. All right, back to this. I like the. I mean, honestly, I feel less pressured for the lead now with Busch just blocking Stewart. I don't think he has much of an intention to pass me. Like, I'm going to have to make a massive error, which could happen because the car is very loose. I don't think it's so much that it's not as bad as it was, because it still is. I think I'm just getting used to driving it this way after 89 laps. I mean, I haven't gotten extremely deep into a fuel run. I think that caution came out just after lap 40, so I've only gone about 2/3 to just less than 3/4 of the way through a full fuel run today. So we haven't gotten to like that lap 55, 60 mark of a fuel run. This could be that run if we get past lap 100 here, which we are closing in on it pretty soon. This race clicking by quickly. Yeah, it is a Saturday night too. Get to AAA to get his pitcher back. What are you talking about, Olsen? It's only one game. It's one bad game all season. Closing in on Yaley again. I think we're going to be catching him like every 10 laps or so. Unless this is a different guy. No, here in a couple corners. Can't tell. It might not be Yaley. No, it is. Never mind. Should have known. Oh, he's in the wall. Oh, it's Menard. I saw the green emblem, but it was just an ally thing. Icon. By the way, JC, yeah, Southern 500, if you haven't been, or just really a race at Darlington in general, a lot of fun. I'm sure, you know, on TV, obviously, they put a lot of great races together. I mean, I saw them with the 550 package, and it was still a pretty good race. 2020. The track itself, the only track I've been to that has that, like, old school feel to it is Martinsville, outside of Darlington. Like, it honestly feels just like an overgrown, like, regular, you know, short track from your local neighborhood. It really has that feel to it. It's fitting for the throwback weekend for sure. I'm sure North Wilkesboro might have that kind of same appeal to it over the last couple years. It might not though, just because of how revamped it is, really. I mean, the facility itself, like, I don't think it has a whole lot to offer still. I mean, I haven't been there since it was dilapidated, but Actually got to visit twice. Both times I went down to Charlotte for the 600 2021, which was the last year before they really started putting work into the track. Saw it at its worst, and then I also saw it back in 2019 when I went to the Roval. Caretaker had the fence open. Both times I went there, I actually wasn't the only one there, which maybe, kind of lucky that I did get to see the track for that reason. Some guy was there with his kid the first time I went in 2019, and him and the caretaker were like already talking when I pulled in. And he came up to me and asked me if, oh boy, I better focus. Yeah, that hurt. That's the second time I've hit the wall up turn 2, and Tony Stewart just packed my ass as soon as oh my gosh. That was a pretty big hit too. And Kyle Busch is gone. Well, at least it wasn't Stewart who got to the lead, but Busch running the high side. Run that Menard line. It's all the way up there. Stewart fell way back. I think Busch's going to give me this lead when I get up to him, honestly. Maybe. He was running the wall. No, yeah. I mean, well, he wasn't up against the wall that time, but... Don't pinch me. There we go. As hard as I hit the wall, the end result wasn't that bad. Pulled way ahead of Tony Stewart. Can't wait to get 4 fresh tires back on this thing again. Oh my goodness. Halfway home this time by. Now it's 9-0. As if it couldn't get any worse. Still can. That's like a half a game left.
This one's half over. Keep it up and we'll be leading at the finish, too.
Oh man, that lapper hit the wall too. At least I'm not the only one pancaking the wall. Just getting too much of that apron from time to time. I got out of the gas soon enough there. Busch still stuck behind that lap car. That lap car is the only reason I held on to the lead there. Tony Stewart's coming back. This is our every 10 to 12 lap catching J.J. Haley run. Get me those fresh tires. I hope I can make it this whole race, honestly. Now it's 10-0. Oh,
Five car, come on. Still there.
Busch
Nice work, buddy.
obviously checked up.
Behind you.
I don't know how he didn't get to the lead.
All clear.
I'm about to pit. I mean, I don't have to go any further if I don't want to.
He's working with you, so give him some room. Yeah, both sides, you're all clear. Watch it, we're on time. Still hanging on.
Tony Stewart hasn't pit yet.
Buddy, we're cruising out there.
I'm gonna pit. I'm gonna pit this time by. Oh, Stewart just pitted. Yeah, I gotta pit this time by. I don't think Tony's gonna have any shot of leading the most laps, but I still don't want him getting out ahead of us. He was really starting to reel us in. Oh my goodness. Definitely pitting this Tari.
Clear, all clear, whatever you need.
Don't speed. Well, I got all I could there. Holy molasses. We made it. We made it through the run. On the first group of cars to pit road. That was ugly. Those last, like, half a dozen laps were terrible.
Faster cars coming on the track. Careful, buddy.
Take this excess road. Busch hasn't pit yet. There's a lot of traffic behind me, 2 and 3 wide back there. One more pit stop left the rest of the race. Honestly, I mean, obviously, the longer we take this next run, less laps I have to go in the final run with how loose this car gets. So there's that to think about. But I lost a lot of time really trying to make that run as long as I could. I mean, the worst thing that could happen here, we get a caution, and I'm trapped a lap down. Because Kyle Busch is still staying out. And now he's in. Alright, so we'll be back on the lead lap then. Alright, there we go. We got your caution. We're back on the lead lap still. And Vickers is in also.
Go ahead and get on by. He's not gonna block.
Another lap car.
Number 137.
I would assume that's Tony Stewart way out ahead of us.
The 137 car is making his move now. Look high. Okay, we're clear.
I didn't have a perfect entry onto pit road either.
Hitting those marks. Leader's about 5 seconds ahead. Coming up on a car exiting pit row.
Ooh. Busch is going to hold on to the lead, it looks like. Well, there you have it. Busch staying in front of Stewart. Stewart goes from third to second. And we go from first to third. I mean, at least the pit crew these first two stops, they've been on it. Daytona, they were not. So, I had other problems on top of that at Daytona, but at least the Pickers making their recovery tonight. So I'm more than likely going to lead the... Oh, wow, J.J. Gailey held those guys up big time. And he probably costed Kyle Busch the lead along with it, because there's Stewart. He's underneath him. Well, allowed me to reel him in a little quicker. Intimidation. Yeah, there you go. Clean air is king. So is Jimmy Johnson. Get a max points day. Busch finishes third instead of second. I think we'll get 20 points on him. Cut the lead down to 59. Even if he finishes second, we'll get 15 points. 5 extra bonus points on him and 10 between first and second. Yeah, there it is. I knew I've led about half the race, so there it is. We've already locked in the most laps led, and we still got 85 to go. So now if Stewart leads, it's not as bad of a situation when I was trying to protect it very early in the race.
Second position now. Keep the pressure on. Keep hanging with this guy. All clear, bud. Number 33 is going to be walking for the pass attempt. Give him lots of space. The 33 car. Outside, outside. Leader is right in front of you. Hold on. He's still there.
Oh, he is...
Both sides clear.
Yeah, that was on him. That was definitely on him. I drove it in there deep, but I was under him half the straightaway when I took that cut down to the apron. I'm going to say he knew I was there and still tried to chop me off anyway. He definitely hit me on purpose earlier in the race. But I also did the same to him, so... Got a little war going on here late in the season. Battling for this title. Tony Stewart ain't no pushover, I'll tell you that much.
The 33 car. Up high, up high. Clear all around.
Not gonna lie, it is hot in my room. Well, the heat's getting to me.
Number 5 is looking for some room to get by you. Watch the outside.
Lackadaisical, and I hit the wall.
There you go. All clear.
Oh boy.
Those tires in good shape. Keep fast, buddy.
We loose.
Hold it steady. Stay wide. Whatever you need, you're clear.
Eating ice cream or watching this. Talk about the heat.
Number 30.
I was just talking about the heat too. It's like a good time for some ice cream. Oh boy.
Still there.
Oh, don't take me 3.
The 33 car. Won't forget that one. Better find a way to get clear of this guy. Got volume.
Go, Kyle. Run away.
Take your time. Take your spot. Let's size this guy up.
Ugh.
We want to make our move. Still hanging on. Number 33 isn't going to give up that position easily. Clear on both sides.
Sucker.
That's what I like to see out there. You're picking them off one by one.
Busch got held up by Yaley, so I still kind of ran him down even with the contact.
We're right there. Let's see if we can lead this thing.
He had a ridiculously high arc getting into that last corner.
He's still there.
Fastest lap of the day.
That's what I'm talking about. Still attacking. Don't forget, he's one of the good guys. He's got both
There we go.
clear.
Come on, man. I feel like this race is going by quick, and then I hit lap 100, and now I feel like it's starting to drag a little. Not gonna lie. I think it's just the anticipation and the waiting for the finish at this point. It's been a long green flag run, too. I mean, we've been green for over 80 laps. Been a minute since we had one of these, really. Seems like we've had quite a few yellow. And again, it's like the middle portion of a run, because I pitted just after lap 100, so you get 20 to 30 laps into the run. I feel like that's when I'm at my best. This is the third tire stint. Could say the same thing again. Fuel window is going to open in about 15 laps or so.
Number 5, closing quickly, left side.
I don't want to pit as soon as it opens. But honestly, you get down to about 50 to go, I think I'm going to consider pitting. Still got to go through our two field passes in this race, so I'm going to do that at the line here.
Roger that, we'll take care of it.
And we'll oh, we got a caution. Caution is out as soon as I made the switch. Paul Menard's crashed. Well, or ran out of gas or something. All right. I saw a car, the track map, go into the grass in turns 1 and 2, and there you have it. All right, so lap car, Paul Menard retires from the race, brings out a caution, our second yellow of the day. We're still outside the pit window. We're going to have Kyle Busch pit here, though. We'll get him off strategy. We're going to restart just outside the fuel window. I don't think he's going to make it. If it stays green to the end, he might. I mean, he's going to be close. Just another way of trying to keep Tony Stewart out of victory lane, really. Team orders are still at play.
We are deep in the
I
field.
was going to say Busch, I believe, was the only one that pitted. All right, here we go.
Don't go
See if Johnson can hold on to the lead.
The 137 car is making his move on the right.
Busch on fresh tires, going to try to get through these guys. .68 laps left. Well, Tony Stewart just got to the lead on the restart. He fell back right for that caution, too. JJ Yaley's probably up in front of this entire field. Potentially holding everybody up also. I didn't even think about that. Maybe he costed Johnson the lead. Oh boy, yeah, they're checking up. Oh my gosh. I think we passed him. I don't know what I'm doing. Whoa, Kenny Wallace is leading. First time today. Alright, so Kenny Wallace leads. Stewart's in second. Squeeze underneath Truex. Kind of ripping through everybody. A short run burst here. Oh boy.
That's the way to do it, bud. Only 2 more to go. All clear, bud. Going on. The 33 car is going to be watching for the pass attempt. Give him lots of space.
Next NASCAR track to get repaved. I would imagine Richmond's got to be getting close, right? Oh, he ain't gonna like that.
All right, bud. Just like we planned it. Great job moving up to the front. Now let's just keep going. Both sides clear. You usually see a black car about here.
And Aaron Crocker leads.
Got it. Come on. All right, we're 4.5 seconds behind the leader, bud. Let's
60 to go.
hold on. He's still there. Clear all around.
New Hampshire? I don't know.
Outside.
They put that sealer on and
Steady. 3-1. Number 42 is making a move.
I don't know.
There you go.
I don't think that's gonna get repaved at least within the next few years. I just feel like Richmond's gonna end up coming apart like Atlanta did there for the last year or two of its existence, just because it is getting so old. I know the concrete at Dover is pretty old too. I don't. I mean, there's some dips in the racetrack, but they've already had problems with it coming apart well long ago, but they still haven't put new concrete in either. So that could be either really close or really far away from happening. Also. Oh, Yaley holding everybody up. 3 wide for the lead, all because of that. Poor Jimmy Johnson held up. Probably the worst. He was outside a second, and now he's falling way back. A little crossover on Ryan Newman. Yeah, Iowa's pretty old too. Darlington's pretty old. All right, we'll ride with Jimmy Johnson the rest of the race. Oh, Vickers went wide into turn 1. Jeez, Truex, want to give me room? Apparently not. Honestly, I think I'm going to short pit here in a few laps. I mean, we've only had 2 cautions this whole race. Try to get on the right side of tire strategy and try to eat away. Hopefully cycle out into some clean air with the fresh tires and try to make a run at this again. I'll try to get to 50 to go first at least. Probably still going to be a minute before they pit. Truex is not giving me a lot of room to make these turns. It's 106 car on the lead lap. My God, he is. Oh, God. My JR Jim Ross impersonation there. It wasn't a good one. If I really tried. More focused in on trying to get a good run to the finish here. Stewart's really running away with it. Yaley held up that whole group of cars there for a while. He just slipped through 3 wide to the bottom and got around all of them. SVG fastest in practice today. Yeah, I had a pretty good feeling about that one. I have to wait for qualifying tomorrow, but I think there's a good chance he's going to be my pick again like he was last week. Those supercar drivers Looked fairly quick today, too. Cup practice. Just ran my fastest lap of the day. Well, I would have thought it was going to be a good time to pit. Coming up on J.J. Yaley. Stewart held up by his Cup Series teammate at least. Yeah, I'm going to pit this time. Because he's probably going to try to hit me. If I try to make a pass on him. They're probably going to get to him by the next lap. Take this access road. Let me make sure I didn't speed either. Alright, 4 tires of gas. Alrighty.
Tires all the way around. Look out, traffic up high. Number 42, up high.
Really hoping I was going to cycle out in clean air.
All clear, bud.
I've got the freshest tires in the field. We have less than 50 to go. And I know at least my car will handle well. Gotta go 47 laps on these tires.
Still there.
We're gonna be a lap down for a while because again, Kyle Busch pitted during that last caution. Nobody else did. We restarted with 68 to go, which was after the second yellow of the race. We had over, not over, it was a little less than a 100 lap green flag run, but
There you go, all clear.
definitely more than a full fuel run. That was my final stop of the day.
One's up high.
I'm not sure how many cars Kyle Busch passed
Green east, clear.
on his way and trying to get back through this field. There's a chance I can unlap myself on him.
Normally, you see him blocking right about now.
So if we did get a caution, ideally if I can get around him, then I could end up just pitting again. There's only a couple cars on the lead lap.
The 29 car is outside.
No, I mean, he's going to make it to... and he's going to make it within the final 10 laps for sure. Maybe even the final 5. I don't think he's going to make it to the finish, but I think he can get within a few laps. 68 laps, a long time at Vegas, under green nonetheless, to make it on fuel. But we'll see. He hasn't won since the season opener at Daytona. So you could say he's due. Still third in points.
Hanging tough. Looks like you got yourself a partner out there. All clear.
Got a picture with SVG? There you go. I think he's got a lot more Cup Series races to win. I am so shocked he's not in the car this weekend.
Let's keep it that way. You got both sides, you're all clear. Outside, outside.
Hey, he could go out there and win this weekend
Clear on either side.
if he was in that Cup field. I think he still had a top 10 again at Coda earlier this year. Led some laps. He pretty much outran AJ the whole day. Within a couple spots of him most of the time. But it's kind of been the case in the Xfinity races they've ran too. Just consistently 1 or 2 spots ahead of him almost the whole race. Now I've got a little bit of open room to run. Broke free of some of that out. I think it benefits me more. Just the longer I'm going to have these fresher tires. Now, granted, also the longer I stay out, I'm going to be at the disadvantage on the back half here. But and again, Busch was the only one that pitted before that 68 lap to go restart. Still think this is my best chance to beat Tony Stewart. Put some separation on him. I just gotta hope I'm in front of Busch when a caution comes out. And if we do get a yellow, I also have to hope everybody else pits, otherwise we're going to end up with a very, very poor finish. It's going to make my chances of winning this championship even harder. Really trying not to go to the apron as much on this run too. Try to conserve the tires a bit more with this being more than likely the last time we'll have them changed. Yeah, I definitely didn't want to pit as soon as that window opened. I'm glad I didn't, just because I know how bad this car is when I get more than 50 laps into the run, so I really wanted to wait till at least that point. I see Busch up here. He's driven all the way up to third already. Granted, he's got fresher tires than the rest of the field, too. Well, I got fresher tires than him now. Oh, right around 20 lap pressure tires than Busch. Tony Stewart just pitted from the lead. Sounds like Paul Menard's coming back out here too. You're having an engine failure earlier. Oh boy. Got glued on Earnhardt. And Tony Stewart right here. Oh, it is. Man, you would have thought I was going to cycle further out ahead of him than this. No, he tried to clean me out. Oh my goodness. Dirty. I can't believe he tried that. It's like this is the only way I'm gonna get in front of him. He actually got into the wall. I kept my car off the wall at least. Crocker pitting. Like I slowed Vickers up quite a bit. I don't think Vickers has led yet today. He's in second right now. Still gonna have to wait on Busch to pit, which is gonna be quite some time yet. 30 to go. Vickers might pit this time. Gonna go wide just in case. Nope. He is not pitting. Should catch JJ Yaley a few more times for the finish yet. Still catching him about every 10 laps or so. Alright, so we're up to 13th. Got the top 12 cars that have to hit pit road yet. Once everybody cycles through, we will be the leader. Stewart's stuck back in traffic. I think he got held up by JJ Yaley quite a bit there too. It really opened our gap up on him. Like to get around Kyle Busch. Just in case we get a caution. Busch is going to be staying out for quite some time. Got fresher tires. Clear. There we go. Back on the lead lap. Quite a few cars on pit road. Should get a few more spots here. Up to 5th. So again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, or maybe you stepped away for a little bit, we had a caution and a restart with 68 laps to go. Kyle Busch was the only driver who hit pit road under that caution. Everybody else stayed out. So although I think he's short, does Kyle Busch have enough fuel to make it to the end and win this race? We just unlapped ourselves. And we are now up to 3rd, so there's still one other car other than Busch who has not made their final stop. And it's gonna, I mean, it's just gonna be a waiting game here, these final 25 laps, just to see if Busch pits. We're plenty good to the end. We pitted with less than 50 to go. No issues for us. Blew past him. We got about 20 lap fresher tires. 20 to 21 lap fresher tires in the 5. Going to continue to drive away from him. I think the next question is, will anybody else get their lap back in case we get a caution? I really don't know who's in second, though. I thought Busch was the only car that pitted. Yeah, if SVG was in the Cup Series, I think he'd be a perennial playoff contender. I mean, he could definitely get a win on a road course. Not everybody in the league in Cup can, you know, win one race a year. He's definitely a guy who could do it. And we talked so many years about, you know, AJ Allmendinger could win a race, get into the playoffs in his circumstance. I think SVG is more capable of winning a road course race than Allmendinger. And I think largely due to the fact that SVG's kind of in his racing prime. He's in his early to mid-30s versus, you know, Allmendinger's in, what, his mid-40s now? He's definitely dipped in performance, although he did win on a road course last year at the Roval. I don't think he really offered in the Cup Series in Kaulig equipment much more than what SVG would be able to do. I mean, look at Daniel Hemrick, for instance. I mean, he's like around 30th in points. Even Allmendinger was outside the top 20 in points all of last season for the most part. I think he was inside the top 20 there for a minute, and I think he missed out on a top 20 finish because he didn't have a great playoff run outside of his win. Oh, I caught Yaley quick. I caught him in like 7 laps. He might have pitted somewhere in there. All right, so Busch has 20 to go. Because he's almost a full lap ahead of me. We're not going to catch him. I know he can get within the final few laps, so it will be close on whether Kyle Busch is able to make it on fuel or not. I think we pretty much guaranteed at least one Hendrick car is going to win this race. It's going to be me or it's going to be him. If it's him, it's a 1-2 finish. If he has to pit, I don't know where he's going to cycle. He did get up to 3rd before everybody else started pitting, so he'll splash and go. He still probably might come out with top 3 at least. I don't know where Tony Stewart's at exactly. I hope he finishes a few positions behind me. We did get the most laps led in this race. I had led over 100 laps. Starting out in front definitely helped. Haven't really like pushed as hard this run as I have other runs. It's probably the less stressful part of the race really for me. There's no one around me. I feel like the car's handling much better now. I didn't make any adjustments at last stop. Just having so much clean air not only in front of me, but nobody, breathing down my neck forced me into a mistake. We'll really focus in on putting together some quality corners. Keeping it off the apron more, not only on the front stretch, but in the corners too. So I'm taking care of my tires also better on this run. 31.8 there. I think my fastest lap was in the 31.6s. A couple tenths off the quickest of the race. And the good thing for Kyle Busch is he can really save if he wants to. I mean, he's got... I'm in second. He's probably... What was that, like over 25 seconds gap? I'm using every bit of that to try to make it on gas. Yeah, he's 27 seconds ahead. Not that the AI really is able to save much fuel. He gets stuck behind JJ Yaley at a slow pace, though, enough times. It might allow him to save enough. It may be close, but we'll see. Somebody got up in the wall last lap. Look at the skid marks going straight up the hill. I'll tell you what, caution. He can pit, he can make it. I'm definitely pitting if a caution comes out. There's just 2 cars on the lead lap. I don't think anybody else has caught Busch. Even if they did, there's only a few cars. Give me the fresh tires. Especially Busch pits, too. We'll be able to see he's in front of me, but regardless if he pits or not, I'm definitely pitting. out hit 16-1. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, what kind of season is this? I work at a Home Depot. I'm driving a Lowe's car, and my favorite driver in NASCAR is sponsored by Menards. I'm a trader. $14 likes on the stream. Be sure to hit that like button if you haven't done so yet. Down the home stretch. Kyle Busch going to have 10 laps to go this time by. I'm running way quicker lap times than he is. It scares me that he's potentially saving. Again, last restarted with 68 laps to go. Kyle Busch pitted during that caution. Nobody else did. If Busch wins this race, it'll be because of that call. And Jimmy Johnson, who led over 100 laps today, will end up finishing in second. No chance of running him down here. We're 23 seconds off the lead. And Busch on older tires. He's trying to win the race on fuel mileage. I mean, if he is short by a few laps, which, again, I think... Oh, boy, hang on to it. Really thinking he was going to hold his line. Yeah, just start working at Menards because my favorite driver works there. I wonder if I could get away with wearing Blaney merchandise like every day at work if I did that. Hey, there might be a way around that. I'll forever be known as the NASCAR guy at that work. Might be onto something there, Wade. Busch is on pit road right now. Yeah, he was way short then. He only made it about 60 laps. 7 to go this time by. He went 60, 61 laps. That was it. Busch is in the pits. And not this time by. But the next time by, it'll be Jimmy Johnson back in the lead. Once again here at Vegas. And I'm not sure how far we are ahead of the next car. Not sure exactly where Kyle Busch will cycle in at. Well, short pitting definitely worked out. At 13.7 seconds with 6 to go. Almost a half a track ahead of everybody else. Yeah, we still needed to stay green here, at least to get to the white flag, but I think we are good. We've only had 2 cautions this whole race. A lot of long green flag runs. This is it. Try to get back into this championship fight a little bit more. Good chance Tony Stewart's going to at least get a top 5, so hold on to the points lead, but we're going to narrow it down. We have 10 races to go after this. Try to win the title. And it will be a fight. The car on pit road. I think that was Yaley that just pitted. 4 to go. 5 by me. Keep the slow cars off the track, please. There's a lot of traffic going through here. Busy of lap traffic as we've had this whole race. Good thing I'm not in a tense battle for the win. Mariners put up 7 runs in the first inning. I still don't know what's more impressive, that or the Brewers out hitting my Tigers 16-1. I don't know what's more of a beating there. Here's the thing is Brewers didn't even score in the first inning. Olsen struck out the side. I don't know if he did it in order though. I think he had one base runner that inning. All right, 2 to go this time. Kind of actually expanded that lead. It was 13 seconds. Now it's about 14 and a half. All since Busch pitted. I don't know why my car got so loose all of a sudden there. That was strange, not gonna lie. It's been like that for a while. It's been like that on this run at all. We're still good. Lapped another one. White flag, 1 to go. Shouldn't catch another lap car the rest of the race. We're gonna win. And by a lot. Stat sheet by margin of victory. Laps led. It's just starting to free up on me now that we're up the full 47 laps into this tire stint. Oh, never mind. I realized they were going to catch Menard another time there. Lap Biffle. Biffle lost a couple spots coming to the checker. And he lost a lap. All right, checker flag. Win 11 for Jimmy Johnson. 11 wins, and we're still not in the points lead. My goodness, Tony Stewart. I was on fire in this race. But he's just on fire with how consistent he is. Well, we needed it. I was aggressive in the first half, panned out the second half. Tony Stewart did finish second, unfortunately, so we really only got like 20 points on him this race. But again, we had to have it. Stewart led 34, we led 114. I did all I could. I mean, I really couldn't have done anything different. We're still, I mean, like I said, we have enough races left. We got 10 to go after this. We still control our own destiny. Still control our own destiny. But by far the best car I've had in a while. Even the races I've won in semi-recent weeks, I think I won back-to-back, not before this race, but before Daytona I won back-to-back. And I don't think I led more than 13 laps in either one of those 2 races. But yeah, this one, we had a fast car, we got the job done. 28 lead changes, I don't even know if we had that much. 114 laps led to 34 again. Kyle Busch led 40 with the fuel mileage, and he still finished 4th, so good run for him. Aaron Crocker 3rd. Kenny Wallace led 5 laps on that last restart. He finishes 5th. Jeremy Mayfield 6th, no laps led. Dale Jr. led in the last restart. He led 2 laps, finished 7th. That 106 car, Kennedy finished in 8th. Good run for him. Other teammate Brian Vickers didn't lead a lap but finished 9th. And Mark Truex Jr. rounds out our top 10. J.J. Haley, Paul Menard finished, but they were many, many laps down. They were off the pace. Matt Kenseth did blow an engine. I thought I saw him potentially blow an engine earlier in the race, and he did get in a wreck about 30 laps before that, so I would imagine that kind of correlated with one another. His teammate Danny Oakland Jr. also blew an engine a little earlier in the race for him. Fantasy driver by the name of Finley blew an engine. Borsed blew a motor. Fantasy driver by the name of Siegel blew an engine. Norton blew an engine. Menard Yaley finished. So that means we ended up having 7 DNFs and then 2 drivers well off the pace at the end that did finish. So 9 drivers had engine issues at some point in this one, but 7 of them DNF'd. 14-second margin of victory, 1 hour, 59 minutes, 12 seconds. Pretty quick race with there only being 2 cautions. 150.98 mile per hour average race speed. Now, if I do my math correctly, I think we gained 20 points on Tony Stewart. So we'll go from 79 out of first to 59 out of first. I will check this out real quick just to make sure. 475 laps in Martinsville. That's a long Busch Series race. Why is it so long? It's Martinsville 250. I think they put 250 miles and not 250 laps. I think there's a typo with the game. With that being said, we're going to have to run 475 laps. I don't know when I'm going to be able to get that race in. That's going to have to be a middle of the week stream, I think. Oh, we gained more than that. Only 15 points. Oh, yeah, he would have had to finish third. My bad. Yeah, I did my math wrong. I should have known that. 15. That's all we gained on Stewart because he did get 5 bonus points, too. So even with the max points, they really cut the lead down by 15. But again, we still control our own destiny. We just keep doing that. Lead the most laps winning races. We'll get them eventually. Just got to keep chipping away. Martinsville is going to be. We're already in a rivalry with them. The last thing we need is to ruffle feathers even more. Oh, geez, that's going to be the next race. I could see a cup race being that long. I was not expecting us to have that long of a Busch Series race on the season, but apparently we're going to have it. Appreciate everybody tuning in here tonight and during the live commentary stream for NASCAR Cup practice. We got 3 more streams this weekend. We got all 3 on live commentary streams. 2 tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll go live for the NASCAR Cup Series qualifying session at Sonoma. More than likely going to see a new track record there. And then, yeah, Xfinity race tomorrow night, 8 p.m. And 8 p.m. tomorrow night, Xfinity Series Eastern Time. Of course, that race being out on the West Coast, they'll get it in well before dark. And the Cup Series race will be at 3 p.m. on Sunday with our pre-race show. So that is all I have. Appreciate it, as always. Have a good rest of your Friday night, and I'll see you back better than ever for doubleheader.